I want to say something quickly about the sub for Ryder for Silver. I don't think Silver is that bad of a player. Or, I mean, at least
Oh yeah,
that
for
bad of
sure.
like a downgrade. I mean, Silver's
Yeah.
decent. Silver's pretty good. He can hold his own weight, but you know, against MI, he might fall short. He might not be as kind of a powerhouse as he is versus some of these other D3 teams, but. I think they can do it regardless. I think PRS just needs to collect themselves. I want to see the game plan for PRS in the second match to just be more schlagging, more chaining for blues, more schlagging, and also just breaking away early on, just spamming those rooms in the first 30 seconds and just running the risk.
Yeah,
Because
that blue chain especially very key.
because we've seen ELP is very able to keep up with Monies and pull some of these shocks, and you just can't rely on shock. I mean, even though we have a good bagger, Monty's is equally as good, and we've seen a very even distribution of shocks for both teams this match so far. So
Exactly. Yeah. If I was PRS right now, I'd be thinking, right, you have a bagger who's been really grinding these strats, probably on every track all for the last 2 weeks. I think the game plan should be go for tracks with really hard bagging strats, maybe even new tracks, because Monies is a really, really good bagger on those certain tracks, and we saw that multiple times, like Halogen Highway. He just knows how to get those 10th place boxes from experience on tracks like Coconut Mall, TF. He's been doing that for years, and ELP's been bagging for less than 2 months now. So they need to be going maybe tracks like Desert Fort or something like that. Monies knows the bagging strat there. They gotta try and take advantage of the fact that ELP knows these bagging strats.
yeah, for sure. And I feel like a lot of PRS are in the same boat. For running. A lot of them know the strats. Like for example, on final grounds, like very first race of the match, we saw two of MI actually failing cut a little bit, but both of PRS making it, and that really was the catalyst for letting them break away in top two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if you break the match down in two halves, it was basically minus 30 in the first half and then minus 30 again in the second half. So it didn't lose too badly. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a bit unfortunate that they let it slip away, but even if you're going to take the more pessimistic angle, I mean, PRS didn't lose too badly.
yeah. Like in those first 6 races, I thought they were actually really unlucky not to be ahead, because those races like GCN, Bowser Castle, Star Slope. Trying to think of another example. Even final grounds where they were making small mistakes, but MI were making big mistakes and they weren't capitalizing on them. But MI also got extremely lucky on, not Blizzard Bluff. It was Star Slope. They got lucky. They got the bill, which PRS should have sat for, to be fair. So that could be maybe given as a mistake from PRS, but the GCN Bowser's Castle was just shocking luck from MI. That was 2 9th place shocks and a blue, and they still lost the race. So I think if there's any race that PRS needs to look at to get confidence for this match, just look at GCN Bowser Castle, and you can still come away from the semi-finals with a win.
Which team would you rather face?
Neither of these teams would be on my highest agenda for playing order, but I would prefer to play PRS, as we beat them twice. But both of these teams would give us a fantastic match in finals. I think they're both so similar. They're both so good on CTs. Definitely better than us on CTs, like skill wise. But we'll see what happens when we get there. Hopefully, whatever team.
I mean, you can't be too modest. You have the MVP of D3 in your roster, right?
Nah, he didn't actually MVP. He was having a few, he was having a few nights on, hoping that Vasilyev in life would score some 60 point overalls, but he had a good cry about it after, and come back to better.
Tell the world who we're talking about.
Alpha KC, Alpha Koopa Cape himself. But yeah, I think it was Life the MVP of the division. He definitely deserved it. Yeah,
it was FW Dylan. Yep. And it looks like match 2 is underway.
No DCs, no DCs.
Hopefully no DCs this time. I think this one took about 30 minutes. I'm not sure. I don't have a timer in here. I'm not like checking my wristwatch or something. But yeah, that felt like a long time. Anyway, we can stop talking about all that stuff. Hypothetical EU team and all that stuff. That's not important right now. We have a BO3 to follow. As you might have seen, MI took match 1, and right now it's PRS fighting to stay in it, and MI fighting to go to the final against IF.
This is it, boys. This is PRS. This is your last chance. You've been improving so much. You gotta show. This is your time to show it right now. No second chances, no do-overs.
Yep, this is how the cookie crumbles. This is how it all goes down, and finally starting match 2. Let's go! Let's go. Volcanic Valley, interesting, a mega track. I love it. I love this track.
Oh, this track is fantastic, man. I'm so glad they picked this because it's just such a fun track to drive. There's not many of these on CPGP anymore, where it's just fun to drive on. You know what I mean?
And I feel like Mega is one of those authors that really understands what makes a track just fun to drive.
Oh, I love that from Soon getting a golden first set and just spamming that up. That is exactly.
This is exactly what we were talking about earlier. PRS needing to shroom up and take those top cuts early on. Soon stepping up to the plate, leading his team by example, and sneaking into first place early on. ELP actually going forward. That's not part of the bagging strat, is it?
Well, it says he's in 10th, so I don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, and we see an appearance of the Sadcap blooper. Shout out to Zach Ruff, who snuck this into CGP. Soon, I think, still first place, and I think that's his teammate right behind him, so that's going to be a top 2 for PRS momentarily.
However, ELP is belling.
ELP position glitched in 10th. I'm not sure what's going on there. We're going to have to ask...
what is going on?
We're going to have to ask Mr. Bean about that one, but... yeah, chaining boxes in what appears to be 10th on the screen, but might be 9th on Money's screen.
Soon,
really exciting, not much variance, not much volatility in these spots.
And he gets it.
He gets it, just like that. Position glitch was the key, I think.
Fair enough, CTs, just CTs, you know what I'm saying? Just custom chains. Going forward half a lap, therefore you are in last place.
Yep, Soon still occupying first place. If there's no blue in the next 30 seconds, he could be looking at a very secure first place, a very guaranteed win here. However, in the time that we've seen just absolutely gorgeous lines for Soon, it actually looks like a few MI members have been able to get up to the second
and third. No. That's not
actually
good.
Missing the rail, which is going to be considerably slower. I'm kind of surprised that he missed it, because it's actually a pretty easy strat.
Soon just got noob filtered, as he would say.
Yeah. A few snipe attempts going into the blind turn right there, as it looks like both of... it looks like all of them is up back there, but it looks like there's going to be target shock on them, so PRS members in the back can catch up. That's really good. So a potential 2-3-4 can now be reduced to just second, and even that aftershock, they could just use shrooms and catch up, but it looks like Jack is holding this second place for now, and there's the blue shell, enabling Jack to take over first place right now, but it looks like there's going to be reinforcements coming in very, very quickly.
Can't see who that is in third, but that's
the name tag isn't showing up. It's precision, but it looks like it's just going to be a 2-4 for PRS. Unfortunate. That's not what they wanted with that chalk at all. The blue really threw a wrench, a spanner in the works, and just unfortunate. Elp did all that he could do, pulling another shock after hours, but not able to do anything.
Yeah, they needed to be, Soon, as much as he was, that was unfortunate. Getting blue there is just unfortunate. There's nothing else to say about that. But he was making mistakes that he would have had a much bigger lead. He would have had a good extra second and a half, and he probably still would have got first. And that is just the small mistakes that add up to what happened last match, when they got beaten by 60 points. It's the small races that add up, and that's what they have to avoid this time.
True. It's the first race. It's not that big of a deal, but if this spirals into something more serious, we're going to have to be, PRS are going to have to take a step back and look at it realistically. guys, we don't want to repeat the same. We don't want to fall into the same pattern we did last time.
Yeah. Soon also needs to be back spamming a lot more. Like MI or 2, 3, 4. You have triple nanas. There's absolutely no reason for you not to start trying to back these nanas in dangerous positions, because you're not gonna get them if you don't back spam. You know that just driving isn't enough in CTD3. If you're in CTD4, maybe you can just drive them first, hope for no blue shell, get the win. But like you are in D3 now, you need to be back spamming on key spots and slowing down that 2, 3, 4. Because how many times have we seen PRS get 1, 5, 6, 7? It's
very true. And actually, if it didn't fail the rail cut towards the end, he could have placed a few nanos on rail and just completely erased MI from the game. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. And now we're going to Infernal Piper for a second race. This is kind of more beneficial for MI, I would say, because MI starts in first, and first has the best spawn on this one. And yeah, we see Jack distancing himself a little bit, backing immediately, getting soon. Exactly what needed to be done in that situation, no question about it. And yeah.
It looks like a few PRS players are still up there, thankfully, but Soon's got to be more careful not to drive directly behind an MI player.
True. Soon holding a shroom, I'm not sure what that's going to be good for, maybe for the cut next lap. But I think he just wants to chain it, maybe for blue or triple reds.
Yeah, chain that shit, man. Get the blue shells going. We need to see some blues flowing for PRS, man. We've seen too many blues on Soon.
Yeah, I mean, even though he was in 5th and PRS was 1-3, it doesn't hurt to hold blue for your team.
Yeah, exactly. Holding blue is so important. Yeah, so important to hold blue shells.
And now we see Jack breathing down the neck of Soon with these triple greens, but it looks like he's just too far away to connect, unfortunately. So, however, Jose taking the cut, attacking this top 2 right now, and it looks like another member of MI is also taking cuts. So, these top spots have been very, very regulated by MI, who are now top 2 by the looks of it.
Yeah, MI just have a ability to turn races on.
Unfortunately, Jose backing Vestfef, which gets a Vestfef a little bit out of top 2, but Soon without protection now could easily get caught off guard by Jose. ELP pulling the bill 9th, very unfortunate. But I don't think either bagger has shock at the moment. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah.
ELP needs to be a bit more careful with trolls as well. He could have easily bumped Jose off there, and that would have put the PRS.
Maybe that's what he was going for.
Tactical troll.
Yep. And now this is really not looking good for PRS. PRS for 4, 5, 6, 7, and even though they're going to take the cut, the jury's still out on shock, so they could get TS'd at some point and just really lose the race. Just have no counterplay to that.
Yeah, and Monies has it as well. So.
Monies has it. He's going forward. We have been alerted by our main man, Dermo, the caster, the extraordinaire, and PRS just fighting for scraps here. They have to get up in the top spots now. And Soon is actually doing that. He's actually chaining shrooms and trying to get a draft off of Jack, but unfortunately not able to find it. And Vestfef doing much of the same, trying to draft Soon, getting back to 3rd place, unfortunately able to do so.
Precision also holding the dodge in 8th place. This is terrifying position to be in for PRS. This could be.
Yeah, but Soon with some strong lines, a very nice low jump, maybe getting a draft here. Actually does so. Oh my god, actually edging out Jack for 2nd place here. If he trails
I
I think he did. Ooh, that's a 2-3 for PRS. That's a magical save.
That is what we needed to see a long time ago from the PRS players. I'm so glad.
A bit of proactivity, a bit of aggression, and yes. We got what we wanted. Ask and you shall receive. PRS from top 3 for MI to 2-3 for PRS. That's really good. I just don't know what to say.
I guess Precision just wasn't pulling the dodge in 8th. I thought for sure because he was just hanging behind for such a long time. Maybe MI just didn't call it or something, but it just looked like such a bad position to be in for MI.
And 2, 3, 5, 6. That's just awesome. I mean,
that's end the league.
Yeah, I mean, even though Precision was like noticeably like separated from the 7 players, like being clumped together, you know, that could have still been like a top 3-6 for MI if they just play their cards right. But PRS taking this one for now and going into the race 3 for now. PRS slightly in the lead.
Yeah, really excited to see how PRS can maybe extend this lead if they just keep playing the way they're playing. You know, you gotta keep the consistency. You can't just play like that one race and never play like that again. You know, you gotta keep it up. Gotta keep building on that.
Yeah, you gotta show people that it wasn't a flunk. You gotta show people that, you know, you got some fighting spirit and you're going all the way. Oh, well, looks like we're going to be going to either Spectral Station or Dark Matter Shrine now. Spectral Station, bit of a
terrible track.
Yep, and also sitting track, very unfortunate.
And also terrible track.
Well, I don't want to be that harsh on it because it's like a recent addition to CGP. Only time it's actually terrible.
That is why it is terrible, because it is a recent addition.
Yeah, I guess we'll have like higher expectations of recent additions, right?
Are you in charge of these additions, man? Because I want to see.
I wasn't on council, and I wasn't responsible for the addition of this one. I probably would have said no. Anyway, going back to the race at hand, DMS soon filling the bean cut in second. That's going to give MI a bit of an edge in first. As I think that's Vespa breaking away first early.
No, I think that is Vespa. You're right. Yeah, so obviously PRS must have failed cut in 2-3, which is an absolute disaster because you picked that track for 2-3.
So, and now PRS is paying the price as Cha-Cha pulls a TC and getting TC'd. Not going to be touching the top ranks anytime soon, and soon getting KC griefed. Unfortunate, but ALP is leading the charge in the bagging battle. If he manages to make it back sooner than Money's, which he did, it's going to be very good for him. Unfortunately, pulls a build. The first box he touches in 10th. Not what he wants. He wants the shock. And switching back to the runner POV, MI still top 2 by quite a lot. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a bottom 4.
PRS, yep.
We're going to need to see an early shock here. If we don't see an early shock, this is just going to be disastrous. And we do see ELP does have the shock, so I don't know why they didn't call it when Soon was in the star, because they needed to do something.
Yeah, I'm not sure if PRS has any other dodges besides Soon, who's currently chaining a golden anyway, so they really want to either TS them at the bean cut or like...
ELP has shock.
Well, that's that fails in seconds, which is huge for PRS.
Huge for PRS, but now kind of also questionable for where you know, you gotta wonder where that leaves PRS, because I'm not sure if they have any dodges and they need to call the shock like soon. Yeah, and that's exactly what we were talking about. Money's starting the shock out of ELP. PRS no longer in possession of the shock and soon getting KCL briefed again. Brilliant track design, I have to say, and it looks like that was MI hitting the obvious fit. Yeah, but ELP getting the shock again. I'm not sure what that was about. I'm not quite sure what the use for that shock was. I'm pretty sure that was like a desperate TS on one of the MI.
They TS themselves, I'm pretty sure. I think they may have just got MI top 3. I might just be, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got top 2 at the very least, maybe top 2-4 if I was very generous, but yeah.
Between Soon and ELP, that race, I don't know who could have possibly played worse. You know what I mean? Like, I was just...
Yeah. I mean, ELP did really good at the beginning, you know.
Exactly.
ELP actually got the shock, but the fact that his team hesitated got the shock out of him. So it was kind of like... Their passivity and their inaction was their downfall. And we see Emma getting top 3, you know, taking the leads out of the hands of PRS once more, and yeah, just not what we want to see if you're a PRS fanboy like me.
Yeah, ELP cornered himself with the shock, which is like Money's had the bow, and he just corners himself for absolutely no reason. If you get the shock and it's lap 3, just go forward. You know, there's no reason to go backwards and corner yourself and just give Monies the easy opportunity, because Monies is an experienced bagger and he's going to get that shock out of you if you corner yourself like that, you know.
True,
and
yeah.
maybe they weren't gonna call it anyway, you know, but like they just lost the opportunity of getting like a 3-4-5 race because they just lost the shock for no reason. They should have called it lap 2 because ELP was in 10th and Soon was on a star, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that was the play as well. I mean, you can't be scared of not pulling shock again, right? I mean,
Exactly.
The benefits outweigh the costs pretty much.
Especially when you're bottom 4, you know.
Yeah, especially when you're bottom 4, I guess you have nothing to lose by using that shock. Anyways, MI with the lead with plus 15. It's not completely over. I mean,
yeah, PRS need to not let that affect them as much as last.
Yeah, we see some signs, some symptoms. PRS might want to get checked. PRS might want to take some preventative measures to ensure that they don't lose. And N64 Wario Stadium, respectable pick, but I think this is more in the realm of this is more in MI's favor.
Yeah, this is a nice little front run track, and tracks like these, MI will have a little advantage on because it's more traditional, more reg oriented tracks, and some of these MI players, they know regs really well. So we'll see what they can do here in top 2.
One of the MI soldiers actually getting griefed in the battle, getting taken out of the top spot. I think that was Jose. So MI is down to top 2, which is still a strong position nonetheless, but significantly weaker than what they started with. And PRS, breathing on their neck pretty much, like hot on their heels. If they get some good items here, this is pretty much even. And they get a POW, which is really good because there's a bunch of sharp turns coming up. If you look at the mini map, they have a choice of basically 2 turns where they could just
that was not the turn. Oh, maybe it was actually. No, they got them.
Yeah, they slowed down Jack quite a lot, and it looks like Jose in first.
Getting
basically a bit of a tough time as second place pulls out triple reds on him. That's Nathan UK, and now PRS is in top 2, although by peanuts. If you look at the mini map, the pack is so close, and we don't know who has the shock, so this is going to be very interesting. But if I had to guess, I would say it's Monty's right now. And Monty's is going forward, but looks like I've been faked out. Looks like Monty's just trying to start ELP, preventing me from getting the shock. And as for the action up front, MI's actually managed to sneak back into top 2, maybe 1-3.
Yeah, that's just... I don't really know what ELP was thinking there. He just chained his shroom really wide and gave up 2-3, and then was that Nathan in first? Yeah, he's
Nathan driving into walls. He's down and out. Now it's going to depend on Soon to bring it back for PRS. Keep them honest in the front back. Make sure they don't break away too far. Neither bagger having shock currently, which is very interesting. But ELP pulling the bill with no way to lose it.
Oh my god, that's a really high bounce.
Oh, I actually didn't know about that shot. He's going to knock over the wall to get out of bounds, and he actually does. Vestfef going for a star troll, trying to really set PRS back, make sure they have no avenue to come back, make sure they have no counterplay, and almost succeeding, but soon with some very nice evasions.
So an actually random green this team, I think, which was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate, and MI back where they started, right at the beginning of everything, right at the genesis.
ELP has the shock. ELP has the shock.
ELP has the shock, and that means we could see a TS here if...
He doesn't okay, Catcher got in third, that's nice.
Unfortunately, Chacha pulling a TC in third, which is going to, halt their plan a little bit. Going up to the TS, they actually opt TS first.
They must.
And they miss. So now this looks like a guaranteed top 2 for MI, but a back bomb onto 5-6, which are both MI players, might be able to help out PRS a little bit.
And 3, 4, 5, 6 would be good for them, and that's what they get. So it's a really good salvage race from PRS, but we just saw a bit of class difference this race. You're in top 2 on Wario Stadium, and 10 seconds later you're 3-4 by just pure driving. That's not really acceptable, and a playoff setting, you can't just Soon just went wide for no reason, and fair enough, Nathan just got outlined, that happens sometimes, but that happens because your team isn't backing them. You know, you're not being aggressive in the top spots.
Yeah.
You need to back them. You know, it's
PRS definitely mellowing out these last year races. Definitely a different PRS that we saw at some points earlier in the series. For example, they're not as proactive anymore, like they were on Volcanic Skyway. You know, they're not courting the TS as well as they did. Although, to be fair, the ramp on Wario Stadium is kind of harder to TS on because it's smaller. You know, I still think they could have called that shock like better, but because if you think about it, right? They really should have TS second. I don't think they should have gone for first, because first, you know, he was a little bit ahead of second, and second wasn't going to get affected, and first was going to get like a potentially good respawn. So unless he had someone dodging in the back, I don't think he should have gone for the TS on first.
Yeah, I thought it was actually a strange decision by Jose to slow down there before the ramp, but it worked out for them. They got top 2. I thought, like, if he slowed down, then he just risked like
Jose
losing
read
more
them like
time.
Jose knew they had shock, and Jose just did what needed to be done. Good on Jose. However, that puts PRS in a considerably worse spot as they lose the GT by 20 points. It's not terrible. It's not catastrophic, but it's definitely not something to be proud about, especially when you had the race in your hands multiple times and you threw it away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
However, we got to reset our mental. We got to go back and hope that, you know, PRS can go the extra mile, go the distance, and bring us to a third game.
Where's Melton? I'm expecting Melton right here. Melton, yes, I predicted. Let's go.
Yes, this is the casting supreme, the casting special. Melting. I've never casted melting magma melee. I'm interested to see what they can do on it. You know.
Yeah,
but
this
I've also
team,
never
this
casted
team is...
Peaks. I want to see mushroom.
Peaks. Is Peaks getting picked? No, it's not getting picked. Okay, I'm blind. Never mind. Yeah. And we see Melton, Magma, Melee, the Noob Filter Supreme, the Prismatic Sunset, Creme de la Creme, you know, so. There we go. If I don't see top 4 here, I'm this one.
I mean, this is really just synonymous with their identity, isn't it? It's like if you think of what's like an iconic thing that you can't imagine? Jeff Bezos in Amazon. You can't imagine Jeff Bezos without Amazon.
Well, yeah, he actually just retired as a CEO, to be fair. So.
Yeah, people are still going to complain like 2 years down the line, like, oh my god, I can't believe Bezos didn't fulfill my order. You know. But that's getting besides the point. That's getting political. We're going to get political on these casts. Backbone for Vespef and soon putting them at the bottom 2. Am I actually taking the short straw here, the short end of the stick, as they are bottom 2 by a little bit? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're. I'm pretty sure one of them is in first, but you know, the rest of them, you know, being 7 and you know 1, 4, 7, 8 currently. That's my predicted PRS. I mean, MI statement.
I really want to see Soon chain this room, but he doesn't. He goes for the club instead, and he fails it.
He barely fails it. He was very close though.
What?
I don't think that was correct play at all. Just stayed safe, you know.
He should chain this room. He need to start chaining in the mid spots to get these blue shells, man. Because how many times have they been in like 1-5 and they've gotten blued, and then it leads to a top 3 for MI? They just need to start getting some blue shells.
Yep, Soon actually pulling triple reds in 7th, which I was gonna say if he manages to back precision, it was gonna be effective, but precision pulls a bill in A, as they've done a few times in the series, MI, you know. But now PRS turning the tide, you know, bringing it even, bringing it 50-50 with the bill in 8th.
I love to see it. I was about to say name a more iconic duo than MI and 8th place bills, or Soon and falling off.
Yeah, Soon had to use the build because he was about to fall off, bringing him all the way up to 5th place, which is pretty good. MI still infesting the top spots with the flame of Jose and Jack, but I'm pretty sure that's PRS in first, right?
I think it is, yeah. So that's gonna be a 1-3. I think is that Silver taking? Oh, that's it. He has 2 shrooms at least, so he's able to recover that.
And that is a very questionable cut from Soon, but he actually manages to make it and almost falls off in the crack right there. manages to barely stay alive,
Oh
which is
my
exactly
God.
what he needs to do. I don't want to see him go for the cut again. That went very badly last time. Just keep checking fifth place boxes for something good. And his triple shrooms is really good. This is exactly what he wanted. Now he can catch up to Jose. And now he can attack the top spots. Maybe get himself a fourth place finish would be ideal here. Let's see. Pulling a bomb. This could be really good if he actually manages to snipe Jose or maybe back Vesfef.
I think you should go for the back here. I don't think he's in great position.
I think you should go for the snipe, because 134 is significantly better than 1357.
I just don't see how you can get Jose here without. Yeah, he does decide the back. I think he got SMF, so I
He
think
actually
that
could have thrown it right here and maybe gotten him like at the loop-to-loop. But a very interesting shock. I wasn't quite following whose shock it was, but it looks like one of MI's dodging in the back, and that's Precision taking over. Over team. It's actually managed to wheel up Soon off the track at the very end. Soon making a critical mistake and never wheelie when you don't need to.
Like, how do people get all these items to
that
go
is.
Yeah.
That is not unfortunate. That's just bad.
PRS just giving out these races for free, like it's sliced bread, like it's the new hot thing in town. MI was bottom 2 for the whole time, and now PRS just bottom 2, like split second. You hate to see it.
ELP was also like trying to get the shock after the race was over and just gave up 9th place. I don't know what happened there.
I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe ELP just gave up on the race and wanted to go backwards for practice. Who knows? But yeah.
Can't practice when you're eliminated, bro.
It looks like a 1.456 for MI, if I'm correct, and that's just going to extend the lead forward. This is definitely a blunder for PRS. This is a critical mistake they could not have afforded to make.
Yeah, they need to stop making these mistakes, man. They need to just get into those top spots right now, man, because they're running out of time here. It goes from like -20, -30, and at that point it goes -40, -50. Like every race that goes by that they don't win, they're losing more confidence, and they're just further out of the match.
It was very unfortunate seeing one of the PRS members very far up front and then losing first to Jack at the very end. Either Jack per Precision, I'm not really sure, but either way, MI got first, and they really shouldn't have. I mean, if you looked at the minimap like a lap or two ago, you wouldn't have predicted MI to get first, but somehow they did, and that's what's really important. And going into the worst Dragon ZDGP.
Oh no.
Yeah, I might as well just kick my feet up, mute my mic and not talk, because it doesn't matter. But
this got added pretty recently too. What were they thinking?
Oh, I'm pretty sure this is an update, right? This was in CGP before, but it was an update.
Yeah, an update. A down. Well, it was an update, but like the opposite of an update. I don't even know, like a downgrade. Yeah, it's just a downgrade on the previous track. What is this?
Yeah, so we see Chacha taking the shrimp cut on the right, taking over first place early on. I'm not really familiar with the layout of this one, I'm gonna be honest, so why don't you take over for now?
Yeah, so this is just a track where there's like 5 different shroom cuts, and the person who pulls the most shrooms wins usually, and see position in first place, possibly with some shrooms, either that or a golden top. So yes, you're gonna need to be trying to get that, and ELP is still in 9th place. Did he pull in 9th?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's doing. He doesn't want to really give up these 9th place boxes here, but he also doesn't want to stay stranded without shock because.
Oh, that was really nice by Soon. Oh, that was
unfortunately
that was so good by Soon.
Did he start Precision out of?
He started Precision. Yeah,
that was a huge play by Soon, taking both cuts and just taking the reins away from Precision on this first place, but unfortunately, like always, Soon getting blued and comboed by Jack, and he's now 7th place. How sad, but race is not over yet. Especially being in these bottom spots, you get really good items for these upcoming few cuts here, as we saw earlier on, and PRS currently top 2, bottom 2, so this could be a potentially even race if nothing changes, but looks like PRS are going to be showing up here. And, he has to be very careful to avoid the Mega by Jose, but unfortunately can't do so, and that's an MI shock dodging 2 people. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
this is gonna go awry very quickly for PRS here. We thought they had a winning race in the bag, but you know, unfortunately the shot wasn't in their favor, and the blue is just gonna be way too late to have any impact. Maybe getting precision on the line, but not doesn't look like it.
it's
Sad.
just more. It's just it's that race was more unfortunate. Well, I don't know what ELP was doing though. He just kind of stayed ninth for no reason. I don't know what he was thinking, but
Maybe he got position bugged.
and he definitely didn't because I saw Money's further back in 10th and the ELP was just staying in ninth at like 30th sec. He just stayed there and then gave MI the free shock and
Yeah, and that, unfortunately that's another top 3 for MI. This is just, man, I don't know. This is getting a bit depressing.
MI just going to show how important chaining those mid spot boxes are because like they're actually pulling blue shells and PRS would be getting blue shells if they were chaining in those sets more, but they're not. So
Yeah,
you could
and if PRS had more dodges in general, because we haven't seen a lot of dodges on PRS. We've seen more of like tactical shocks, like target shocks, you know, especially in Volcanic Valley and Wario Stadium. People are not holding their dodges on PRS in the possibility that the other team is going to pull shock, and that's a big misplay because you know the bagger like Monty's, you gotta cover everything. You know, you gotta cover all bases, and PRS are not doing their job in that regard, and that's why MI is up 50 points right now at the halfway mark of this match.
Yeah, PRS are gonna need to change something quick. I really am hoping they sub Ryder back in for GB3 somehow. I don't know what the story is with him being subbed out. I know he DC'd once, but like people DC, you know what happens, and they can still play the rest of the war.
Yeah,
you know,
if you're a PRS fan, you gotta say your prayers and hope Ryder's gonna come back. You know, say a bit of. Actually, I don't know any prayers. What am I talking about? Anyways, race 7 about to commence. Aquania, also a nice running.
Very overpowered for MI's spots.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for Soon to maybe do some damage. Hopefully that's a good. Oh, use it, please. Use the mega.
Oh, even if he squishes his teammate here, I think the trade-off would have been worth it because he would have just been gone at first. But you know, holds his mega for now. One of MI actually failing bit at first, which allows Soon to sneak into this top 2 spot along with his teammate Chacha, and unfortunately gets drafted by Vesef and bumped off. I don't think. Man, if he didn't get bumped off, that would have been a whole different story, but also Vesef gets bumped off soon after, so, you know, it evens out.
Yeah, the problem with that is just that, like, they're starting off in top 3. I know Kacha was beside him, but Kacha is French, which means he is probably further ahead than it looks, so, like, you just need to, you'd hate to use that Mega Man. You're going to get some MI players with them.
Yeah, and currently we see Monty's winning the bagging battle by miles. It's very likely that
ELP is not going backwards again. What am I witnessing? He's just, what are you doing? Please, I'm
pretty sure he's just given up going backwards all the way because he wouldn't have been chaining boxes, at least according to him. But there's plenty of boxes on the way back.
Rewarded for just not doing the right thing.
However, we see ELP getting rewarded by chaining boxes in 9th, pulling the shock before Monty's, who, you know, definitely beat him fair and square to the 10th place position, but we have to focus on what's really important is that PRS have shock. And it remains to be seen how they'll use it.
They need to hold this to lap 3, or else Monty's would pull for the cannon, probably. They just need to try and maybe get some megas, get some stars, maybe in those 5-7 positions.
And this is looking better for PRS than it ever has been in this race. You know, this is their prime time. This is their time to shine. This is their fountain of youth. Anyway, they really need some extra dodges because, you know, even if they dodge these mid spots and cannons, I don't think it's going to be enough. They're really looking for a mega on Soon or a Nathan here. Jose spamming a few reds, you know, nothing crazy, but definitely going to set Soon back a little bit.
Maybe 4 could drop down and... no, that's not what it's going to. I don't know.
And it looks like they're going to be dodging Nathan in the cannon, you know, so their 4th place is secure. Yeah, that was a bit of a hard match to follow, but a very balanced one, I have to say. And the Funky Kong's lining the wall. You love to see it.
That's a perfect squeeze. Yeah, take a screenshot of that, please. Beautiful.
That's gonna be the YouTube thumbnail.
That was a perfect representation of everybody watching that race. You know, just hand on the head, what is going on? You know,
Yeah,
ELP.
edge of their seat, like trying to figure out what's going on. Like, oh wow, damn. Anyway, ELP finishing off.
Good race. Good race.
Yep, and the first good race in a while. I think that was the first of 5 races that were actually good for PRS here. 13469. That's gonna feel really good after a string of tough races, a string of losses under your belt. You know.
Yeah, they needed that for sure, and they need to build on it. It's not enough to just get one good race. You need to build on the good races you get, keep the momentum up, and that might win them the match. You know.
True. Someone tagging me in CT Tier 2 play, I can't. I'm casting the best match I've seen in a while. And that's not an exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen. This is very back and forth. I mean, you know, one moment you think PRS is going to come back, but then MI just tugs it away. It's a constant tug of war of power between these two teams, and I'm not quite sure where it's going to end up. I suggest you stick around because we're getting into the meat of it. You know, PRS has picked up some momentum, and now it's gonna really be interesting to see where they take that momentum.
Yeah, Stargaze summer coming out, bit of a luck track, dare I say.
Yeah, this track is a bit of a few powerful shrimp cuts, I have to say, and
gonna
not
want to
many
see
places to break
fourth
the
dropping here from PRS 4 and 6 because 4 does not have a good line anyway, and you need to get goldens and shrooms on this track to have a good frontal presence.
Yep, and
ELP
just going forwards out of habit, giving up that 10th place early on. I'm not quite sure what he's been doing. He's definitely been looking weaker than he has been in the first match.
Yeah, something's gone wrong for ELP. I don't know what's.
Yeah, I was singing his praises. I was saying that he was a very, very worthy competitor to Monty's, but it looks like not really as he's kind of giving up these bagging exchanges too early. But enough about that. Let's go back to the running side of things. Soon just gets absolutely obliterated. It's just getting backspam left and right, you know. And runs into the net as well, just salt in the wound.
So it's tough to watch stuff like this happen. But,
it's tough to watch, but for more reasons than one. I mean, I predicted PRS to win, and now I'm just hoping that they actually do something that's going to bring them back into this, you know, because they're losing by about 35 or 40 right now, and they still have a ways to go before the match is over, and they're still down so much, you know.
Yeah.
So this has got to be the start of something magical for PRS here. Soon chaining boxes in 7th, and that's exactly what we needed to see. That the blue shell, and it's going for an MI member up front.
That's what happens when you chain mid spot boxes. You know, that's the lowest percentage chance to get the blue in, you know, on 7th compared to like 5, 6, 4. But
yep, and getting the order with the golden in 7th, he's going to use it now to try and get up to the top spots. Jack pulling a TC, which is really good for PRS. PRS now lining the top spot with top 4 currently.
Ooh, that was really good golden use. I didn't even think it was okay. That's MI shock.
It was a good golden, but that's also an MI shock. And now MI is dodging up into 1st place, and it looks like Precision is actually snuck into 3rd place. So that's going to put MI in 1-3 potentially. Now Soon has to just 1v1 up front with Precision here.
Oh no!
Unfortunately, Precision pulling a 3rd place bomb. Is that right?
I think he would have avoided the bomb if he didn't have the obvious snap.
Yeah. It was a very tough call, but Soon's still in 6th place. It looks like MI is going to be bottom 2 no matter what, as they look too far gone at bottom 2. So, you know, potentially, what is that, like a 2-4-5-6 for PRS? Definitely a good race, but definitely not what they wanted once again, because they were top 4, but then the shock came in and ruined their hopes.
Yeah, ELP's really starting to cost them. I hate to say it, like, but what are you doing going forward as a bagger? Whoa, what is
Yeah.
that? You can't be making stupid mistakes
You have to
like
be
that.
hoping that after 20 races now, you would kind of be adjusted going backwards. But, you know, it's ELP, and we're not quite sure what's going on with this play style. Maybe that's a strategy. Who knows? But
Only a
definitely
minus
not
one.
a winning one. Yep. So I'm pretty sure the deficit is still around 35 to 40, and now this is such a tall order going into the last GP because winning a GP by 40. I mean, tall order, but you know, you can't argue. You can't bargain for another win condition. You have to do it this way, or you know, it's this way or no way. Pretty much.
Exactly. Oh.
Yep. We're going into the last few races of match 2, and
Somebody left the room. Maybe please, Ryder.
no, it
That's
looks like
Monies.
that's
Monies.
Monies, yep.
I've never been so disappointed to see someone in my life. Sorry, Monies.
Oh, I mean, Monies to me is quite cute. I'm not complaining. You know, a bit of a refreshing aesthetic value for the stream. Also, these textures are pretty neat. But it looks like did Soon switch his textures also like between match 1 and match 2? Did he switch his textures in the My Stuff folder? What happened?
Oh my god, I didn't even notice.
I didn't even register that. What happened?
I guess there was like a good gap.
I think the Funky Kong texture and the Bowser Bike texture were switched.
Yeah, it looked like the funky the flame runner was switched. That was that I don't respect that because like it looks like he's
we know
he
how
cares
we know
more
what your
about his
stance is on texture.
he cares more about his appearance than the one in the match. What is going on?
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna get Cassidy, you know, you got to bring out the HE textures, you know, the 4K stuff.
If I saw anyone in my clan doing that, they wouldn't last long. I'll tell you that they wouldn't last long.
Yeah, they would be voted off like in Survivor.
Oh yeah. I need to change my textures here between next match.
Oh yeah, guys, can we just hold up the cast for 20 minutes? I gotta change my textures. Anyways, going into Soon's favorite track in CTGP, New Moon Manor, but also what he doesn't know is that Vestfef has the BKT on this one.
Yikes. That's not what you want if you're PRS. You know, you're in the dying stages of the match. You know, your chances are dwindling, and you get a 7th place DZ. What you pass, to be fair, that's not really good.
Yeah, this race will be interesting because I feel like this track, you know, both teams are really experienced on this track, but you know,
dude, this
even though they have the same track knowledge, will they have the same outcome? I feel like I would give the edge of this race to MI, but I can't speak too soon. Speaking of Soon, he's in 8th place and getting a box, and it's triple shrooms. Definitely not the build he hoped for. He's going to try and chain again, but unfortunately one of PRS falling off. And also looks like one of MI failing to cut. That's Jack. Yeah. Very chill race so far, very average. It looks
big
like
golden. If he can hold us till the cuts, he could probably get up in the 1st place, to be honest.
Yeah, so it looks like 245 for MI right now. Actually, on the other screen, we see ELP pulling Shock, which is exactly what they needed. I feel like we haven't seen an ELP Shock in a while, at least not one that was very impactful in the race. Soon getting the golden, doing the golden strat, going to be in 1st by quite a lot. Am I still up here though? I feel like that's the biggest of PRS's worries right now, just getting MI out of everything behind 1st, you know?
Yeah, Nathan and or is that I think that's Silver and Nathan used to be not falling off.
And soon missing this box is also a big setback because he missed the box and now he can't trap the cut, which is unfortunate. But
a big tag from it. The target pay vest left there, so it catches up in us a little bit, and we see Silver is in 8th by 10 seconds again. Dude, this is like how to China. It happens way too much, man. You cannot be in 7, 8 by like 3 or 4 seconds because I know you have the shot.
You definitely don't want to put yourself at the position where you can no longer do anything to bring yourself back, and yeah, that's exactly what Silver is kind of doing right now. But as I say that, it looks like the bottom pack is actually kind of tightening up a bit.
Yeah. It's like precision. It fell off in it. He's pulling a bit of a silver.
Just, pulling a bit of a silver, yeah. But Soon just chilling in first. PRS with this shock, just free to chill, free to relax, free to get some dodges in the back and take advantage of it. Now, a few ground runs that could be hazardous to any MI members coming up, and also a ground run on the cut. Hoping that no PRS members actually hit that, because, who knows if Soon actually called that or not. Yeah, it looks like MI is 2-3 right now, so...
They're 2-3-4, actually, so...
Yeah,
so it's again, like...
Here
it actually can't be, because they've fallen so far behind that it doesn't even matter anymore. Like, it's just a disaster. Like, they need to stay on its track.
I'm not sure how that transpired. If we had another POV, we could have been able to tell more easily, but... Looks like a secure 2-3-4 for MI, but the pack is so clustered at the end. I'm not sure what happened. Really have to wonder why they didn't use shock, even though they held it all race. Well, like why didn't they use shock when they were going on the cut? Maybe.
Because kind of just the story
going
of
on the
PRS.
cut, that was the strongest TS spot they had left in the arsenal, and they just didn't do it.
Yeah, that's just the story of PRS's gameplay today. It's just one person up in the front and then 3 people falling off. Not getting dodges, not chaining for blues.
Yeah, and that's another 1-5-6-7, a repeat of what we saw earlier in Sahara Hideout, which was very much the same story.
And MI may have been pretty unlucky to not pull a blue there if they were chaining in 4th. That's I'm sure that's what they were doing, because they know that's what the PRS aren't doing, So.
Yeah, maybe PRS is actually holding the blue, but I find that unlikely
possibly.
considering the trend of this match. Not pulling nearly enough blues to even out MI's running powers. So, unfortunately, we'll never know who had the blue shell there. But that's done and dusted. We have to be grateful that Soon actually held first and secured it for his team, because it brings us a more even match, a more balanced match. Going into either Headlong Skyway, Festival Town, or Luigi's Mansion.
Or Yoshi Lagoon, come on!
Nope, looks like Luigi's Mansion. Another luck track, no less. And I feel like this is more in the ballpark of PRS, because PRS only had first, and first might be able to hold their own weight here, but those bottom spots, if they get backspam here in this mansion, if they die early on, there's going to be less of a chance for them to come back. So, yeah, I think this is a PRS pick. I think they're banking on shocks in bottom, not shocks, shrooms in bottom spots, and just wanting to take that lead here. So
just realized Basswap's dropping the disrespect, the Luigi Macbite combo. I don't know how to feel about that. Got to respect your opponents. Basswap, come on.
Yeah, you gotta respect your opponents, especially if it's PRS. I mean, if they had Ryder, this would be a very different story, I feel like. So, yeah. I don't think we would have seen that much bravado and confidence from Vesvef if Ryder had stayed in the lineup, but for now, it looks like, PRS just have to work with what they have, and, Soon might have wanted to throw that fib a little bit sooner, might have wanted to get a connection sooner. Unfortunately, it doesn't connect, and now PRS, they're kind of broken away from bottom 4, but they're not breaking away enough from 2-4, because, MI, are hot, like breathing down in their neck, they're hot on their tail, and, they're still contenders for this first place, and if they don't get top 2 here, PRS, I'm not sure what the score is going to be looking like after that, and, as I say that, Jose actually takes out Soon from 3rd place, a result of Soon's, item spam, unsuccessfully landing, and actually backing Vesvef, which is pretty good, but getting, I guess it was one-on-one trade in favor of PRS here, so it's not that bad.
MI does have the shock, keep that in mind. I think I just saw
MI does have the shock, which means they have a big advantage here, and it's actually coming here, Jack dodging in 6th or 7th. Yep, that's gotta be super unlucky, but you have to be blessing, you just have to be kissing the skies if you're PRS, just very happy about that. And looks like Jack actually pulled a POW in 7th, which is not what we wanted, but
that is what everybody wanted to see. I'm sorry, that is everybody wanted to see, Jack dodging in the signature mega that he pulls every race. Absolutely
Well,
getting punished. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
getting
bad
punished,
form.
getting that 7th place POW, just rough luck. But I'm pretty sure that's good for PRS, who I think they got a 1-4-5-6 out of that.
Possibly. Yeah. Or I thought I saw position was getting blued maybe. So, no.
Unfortunately, 3-4-5-6. That's a significantly worse race than we thought, and it's gonna keep things even, but it's not gonna keep things going in the swing of PRS here. And I mean, PRS, they really need all the luck they can get right now. They have to be hot under the collar, sweating their brows, and just they got to be wondering like how are they gonna take this match? Because if they don't, it's game over. There's no more. If they lose this match, there's no more races to play.
Yeah,
Play
nothing
for
to
everything
lose
right
anymore.
here. What do you think
Nothing
they'll
to
pick here?
lose. I want to see Jungle Jamble coming out right now. Just all around. You know what I'm saying. Like Mummies is getting most of the shocks anyway. I think going stuff like Twin Peaks, really shocker line tracks. I don't know if that's the play, man. You need to be going nice short tracks. Something Mummies won't know the backing strat on maybe.
Yeah, if ELP remembers to go backwards, that would be quite helpful. Anyway, it's either Aquadrum Stage or Twin Peaks, and also it looks like there's what I didn't quite see that. What was that? What are we gonna play?
Twin Peaks, I believe I picked Twin Peaks. Nope.
Oh no, we're gonna be going
just
Halogen Highway, which I hear is a pretty big luck track according to you.
Yeah, no, it's a big front running track according to you. So I think we should just listen to you, man. I want to see top
Now
three.
we'll see who's right. We'll see
top
who's right. Because am I starting in this top two? It'll be interesting to see if they hold on to it or if PRS are going to take the big cut up here in the front. Yeah, it looks like one of PRS already falling off, and Jack and soon Bush taking the cut, which puts them.
I swear, Jack he just pulled the shroom, and he probably pulled triple shrooms in fourth place. Not gonna lie.
Well, we don't know that, but
so a single
it looks
shroom.
like there was a single shroom in second potentially. I'm not sure, not positive, but. Am I going to have a chokehold on first for now? It's very hard to imagine how Soon is going to take over first place in this position. It's going to have to wait for a period maybe, because from this point on, it's all boost pen pretty much.
He needs to try and be aggressive at least.
He's going to have to snipe. There's no other way. He's going to have to go for the snipe. He's going to have to ask his teammate to chain for the blue. And,
Here we go, triple nanas. This is what we want to see. Destiny awaits.
Destiny awaits, but Jack with some deadly back greens, but it looks like he's also just losing time, just going for these back spams, just focusing too much on back spamming. On the bagging POV here, we see that I don't think either bagger has shock right now. If I had to bet, it was Monty's, but Monty's not really touching boxes either, and Monty's actually going forward. I'm not sure what happened there.
So Monty's has the shock.
Yeah, Monty's going forward, but actually
he just fell off. And giving ELP
the shock intent. So PRS with the big advantage, the shock, exactly what they needed. MI, still top two, still a wrench in their plans. Something nasty that they need to eliminate very soon, because soon there's going to be no time left for the shock coming.
Yeah, I don't see any way they can turn this around now. I think unless they pull like 4 megas and 3 blues and
the shock is gonna have to come soon, or this is curtains for PRS. I mean, if MI get top 2, this is gonna be mathematically impossible for PRS to claw back in the last race. I mean, the pack is close, but it's also not super close. The shock is just gonna have to come now, if ever it had to come.
He's just get himself in the boxes here, trying to get red shot or something.
Get himself in the boxes, or at least 3 people have to dodge on the side of PRS, or otherwise it's just over, Shock comes, and that's going to target shock MI off the ramp, but I'm not quite sure what that's going to do for the other member of PRS. I mean, it got them in the boxes, but I'm not sure what they did get out of those boxes.
Yeah, they just waited too long. They had the shock when the SFF took top and third. Like, they just needed to use it then. They could have got 7-8 into boxes or something. Oh, I don't know. It's
Yeah, and I'm pretty
just,
sure that's the nail in the coffin for PRS. I'm pretty sure that's the that's what took you over the line if you're MI, you know.
yeah, you know, if you're PRS, you know, don't be too disappointed in yourself. You know, you've been around for 2 seasons. You know, you got to the finals of D4 last season.
And you got to the semifinals of D3
yeah.
this season for
And
sure.
it's really impressive. Like, they beat out Flow to get to the semifinals, which is not easy because Flow are a great team on CDs. They had the MVP of the division, you know, and I'm sure PRS will continue to improve. You know, they remind me of AAC about 2 years ago. They were
Oh, for sure.
in
They're
the
like the
same
modern
position.
ASC for sure, yeah.
Yeah, like, and in a year's time, I wouldn't be surprised to see PRS, you know, beating my team. I'll be arguing with Soon for the one and Nathan about them scoring 120 against me, and I'll be still spamming mushroom tracks, trying
for
to.
sure, yeah. I mean, PRS can't be too upset about what they did here. I mean, they got to the semifinals after a very challenging season, even though they got the easier conference, some would say. But
Yeah.
PRS definitely a good effort here today as MI advances to the D3 final, winning, even though not officially yet, but a little secret, winning 2-0 in this BO3. It's going to be MI facing off against IF potentially next week, right?
Yeah, well, I'd say probably next week. Yeah, if not next week, it'll be the week after. But yeah,
right,
that'll be a great match.
Yeah, going into this last race, let's give some closing thoughts on this matchup. So my biggest takeaways here is that PRS, you know, what a great race, you know, Baby Park, just lovely, absolutely lovely.
A true just sign of a 12th race on CD.
Yeah, this is basically chaotic evil on the alignment chart.
But the stakes aren't high unless it's GC and Baby Park.
Yeah. I mean, even if they, I think even if they top 2, they can't win anymore, right?
Even if they top 10, they can't win anymore. I don't think so.
Yeah, unfortunately. So that's definitely the game for MI. However, I do want to talk about something very quickly before we end the cast. I want to talk about PRS's shock usage and their mid-spot item chains. Those were the biggest weak links in their game plan, and I think that's where MI had the upper hand. I mean, MI had the upper hand at least a little bit in all aspects of the game, but I think this is where it really shined through because, you know, time and time again, we saw PRS having shock and just not using it because of hesitation. And you really can't hesitate when you're bottom 3, you know?
Exactly, yeah, they just got caught in the bottom spots so much. Like Silver, Nathan, and 7-8, most of that war. I thought Nathan played a lot better in the first match, but he had a I don't want to say he had a terrible match. You know,
he had a really good first match, but then he just kind of fell off. You know, he kind of mentally checked out, I would say, because
fell off physically and mentally, I would say, because he fell off quite a bit. I think he fell off.
And right now we're seeing PRS schlagging like crazy. This is something they should have done earlier on in the match. Like, I would say MI was schlagging even more, even though they were schlagging comparatively more than PRS. So that's also something that PRS needs to work on, just generally back spamming more, just schlagging more. And yeah, that's the main takeaways for PRS. Just definitely a team that's solid in communication and also chemistry. Like all the players are, you know, I feel like they can make something work, but they definitely need to work on their more conventional skills. They're the more RT centric skills.
Exactly. Yeah. PRS will be back better than ever next season. I'm sure they'll be competing for probably the D3 title again, unless they bring in some big names. I think they're bringing in AT, so that'll help.
Ooh, PRS AT would be huge. AT is actually one of the players on the come up recently, along with you know. I like to call them the new wave of players. You know, there's
the Zoomers,
there's AT, there's Soon. There's a lot of these players, man.
Yeah, it's good to see, you know, new CT players coming in, being competitive. I think that's the best aspect of the game. You know, CTL, it doesn't get better CT wise than a good CTL match. You know what I mean? And hopefully the recent additions to the track council will improve the CTs over time.
Yeah, who
Hint,
knows?
hint, you know.
Yeah. I guess to sign off here, I just want to say something quickly about the track council. We have a lot of interesting tracks coming to CTGB soon, so keep an eye out on the CTGB backroom informational page if you want to see what's coming next. That's all from me. My name is Saturn, and I was very, very happy to bring you this cast today. Dermo?
And my name is Dermo, and thank you for watching, everybody.